Have you ever looked at the Great Pyramids and wondered, how on earth did they do that? For thousands of years, the civilization of ancient Egypt has captivated us with its mysteries, its golden treasures, and its monumental achievements. Today, we're diving deep into the sands of time to uncover some of the most fascinating secrets of the Pharaohs. Let's get started. First up, let's talk about the pyramids. We all know them, but the mystery of their construction is still a hot topic. The Great Pyramid of Giza, built for Pharaoh Khufu, consists of over 2 million stone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons. The popular theory used to be that tens of thousands of slaves toiled under the whip. But modern archaeology tells a different story. Excavations near the pyramids have uncovered a workers' village complete with bakeries, breweries, and medical facilities. These weren't slaves. They were skilled, well-fed Egyptian laborers. They even had their own tombs near the pharaohs, a great honor. So how did they move those massive stones? Evidence suggests they used a system of ramps, sledges, and possibly even wet sand to reduce friction. Imagine thousands of people working together with incredible precision and engineering knowledge, all to create an eternal home for their king. It's a testament to human ingenuity and organization, not just brute force. Now, let's venture inside these massive structures. People often think of pyramids as being filled with complex, Indiana Jones-style booby traps. While there were deterrents like massive granite plugs and false passages designed to thwart tomb robbers, the reality is a bit different. The real curse was the ingenuity of the thieves themselves, who often managed to plunder these tombs shortly after they were sealed. But what the pharaohs left behind is even more fascinating than traps: the hieroglyphs. These weren't just pretty pictures. They were a complex writing system that could be phonetic, like our alphabet, or symbolic. For centuries, their meaning was lost until the discovery of the Rosetta Stone in 1799. This single slab, inscribed with the same text in 3 scripts, hieroglyphic, demotic, and ancient Greek, was the key. Scholars, most notably Jean-François Champollion, were able to use the Greek text they understood to crack the code. Suddenly, the silent walls of temples and tombs began to speak, telling us stories of battles, daily life, and religious beliefs. Speaking of beliefs, the ancient Egyptian afterlife was incredibly elaborate. They believed death was just an interruption, not an end. To ensure a successful journey to the next world, they developed the intricate process of mummification. This wasn't just about wrapping bodies in linen. It was a 70-day religious ritual. Priests would remove internal organs like the liver, lungs, and intestines, preserving them in special containers called canopic jars. The heart, believed to be the center of intelligence and emotion, was usually left inside the body. Then the body was covered in natron salt for 40 days to completely dry it out. Finally, it was wrapped in hundreds of yards of linen bandages, with magical amulets tucked within the layers for protection. This whole process was meant to preserve the body so that the soul, or Ka and Ba, could recognize it and reunite with it in the afterlife. It shows just how deeply their lives were intertwined with their preparations for eternity. But it wasn't all about death and the afterlife. The ancient Egyptians were masters of daily life, too. They were brilliant astronomers, and their calendar was one of the first in history to have 365 days. They divided the year into 3 seasons based on the cycles of the Nile River: Akhet, the flooding season; Pare, the growing season; and Shemu, the harvest season. This precision allowed them to become a thriving agricultural society. Their medical knowledge was also surprisingly advanced. The Edwin Smith Papyrus, one of the oldest surviving medical texts, describes 48 surgical cases of trauma with diagnoses, treatments, and prognoses. It discusses examining patients, stitching wounds, setting broken bones, and even describes brain anatomy. While they still believed magic and prayers played a role in healing, their practical, observational approach to medicine was centuries ahead of its time. And what about the famous pharaohs themselves? We often hear about powerful rulers like Ramesses the Great or the boy king Tutankhamun. But Egypt also had incredibly powerful female rulers. Hatshepsut is a standout example. After her husband's death, she initially ruled as regent for her young stepson, but soon declared herself pharaoh. She donned the traditional male regalia, including the false beard, and ruled for over 20 years during a period of great peace and prosperity. She commissioned hundreds of building projects, including her magnificent mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari. Then there's Cleopatra. While she was technically Greek, the last of the Ptolemaic dynasty, she embraced Egyptian culture and was one of the few rulers of her line to even speak the Egyptian language. She was a brilliant political strategist who navigated the treacherous world of Roman politics to keep her kingdom independent for as long as she could. These women were not just queens. They were pharaohs in their own right, wielding immense power and influence. Of course, no discussion of ancient Egypt is complete without mentioning King Tutankhamun. For a long time, he was a relatively minor pharaoh. He came to the throne as a child and died before he was 20. His main act was restoring the old polytheistic religion after his father, Akhenaten, had tried to enforce the worship of a single sun god, the Aten. But Tutankhamun's fame skyrocketed in 1922 when the archaeologist Howard Carter discovered his tomb. What was so special about it? It was almost completely intact. After years of searching, Carter found the steps leading down to a sealed doorway. The treasures inside were breathtaking. A solid gold coffin, a stunning golden death mask, chariots, furniture, and thousands of other objects that gave us an unprecedented snapshot of royal life and burial practices. The discovery created a worldwide sensation, sparking a new wave of Egyptomania. The mystery surrounding his death at such a young age continues to be debated. Was it an accident, illness, or something more sinister? Recent scans suggest he may have suffered from multiple health issues, including a severe leg fracture and malaria, which likely contributed to his early death. So, from the engineering marvel of the pyramids to the coded language of hieroglyphs, the spiritual science of mummification, and the stories of legendary rulers, ancient Egypt is a gift that keeps on giving. Every new discovery, every translated text, brings us closer to understanding this incredible civilization. They weren't just characters in a history book. They were real people with hopes, fears, and an unshakable belief in eternity. Their legacy is written in stone, and it continues to inspire awe and wonder in all of us. What secrets do you think the sands of Egypt still hold? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this exploration of ancient Egypt, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries. See you in the next video.